Okay, thanks. So thank you for the introduction. And yeah, hi everybody, and thanks for having us here. As he said, I'm from the big company, Bosch. And we were very interested in this event. First of all, just to see how what the tech scene is doing. And on the other hand, of course, since we also want to present something and show what we actually do, because everybody who knows something about Bosch says, okay, they do automobiles or they do washing machines, but we also actually do software. So, about Bosch. So, we initially, the part here in Berlin, we were a startup. We were a startup for business process management, and we were a strategic buy by Bosch in order to conquer the age of IoT. Because Bosch thought, okay, IoT is the next step where we have to go. Right now here in Berlin, we have 200 employees. And of course, we're trying to keep up our startup mentality and actually have both worlds, the big company and of course like the small parts of the startup attitude. One thing that's very, very important for me is that Bosch is not a stock corporation. So we don't work for people who invest in us and say we're going to make money. We're, what was the name for it? Non-liability, I forgot the word, corporation, where we're not working for anybody, we're working for our own company and the things we're doing just to keep our employees and proceed with whatever we want to do. So I said, IoT has been is a big topic which Bosch put on their flag. The next thing what we want to do. And these are basically our areas where we have the health area, we have mobility down there, we have smart city and smart home, this part, the part electricity or energy, and this one up there, manufacturing. And that's the area I'm from. I'm in the product group industry. We're developing software for big factories or for plants, not only for Bosch, but also for other plants. And the super topic, which is up right now, maybe you've heard of, is Industry 4.0. So anything we do for software is Industry 4.0, or the industrial internet, or connected manufacturing, or however you want to call it. It's where the internet or the IT meets manufacturing. And that's what we're working with. And everything that happens there it's actually like in the private life, where you connect things, you develop something for these things, and you make cool things with these things. And one thing I would like to show tonight is about process quality management. It doesn't really sound so cool, but imagine you are a big manufacturer of automobiles, and you have this huge plant, and you throw off a car body every 10 minutes of the assembly line. And one thing which is very crucial for you, if you're the car manufacturer, is my car actually safe? Did I do everything in order to make sure once a person gets into there that the motor doesn't fall out or that the body falls apart or whatever? And for this purpose, we have developed the so-called process quality manager. I also brought one of these tightening systems. This is a mobile tightening system, but we also have, especially in these assembly lines, several thousand tightening systems which tighten screws like every few seconds, which of course leads up to several thousand, several 10,000 thousand tightenings a second. And what you want to do there is actually you want to look at each of these tightening processes and want to make sure, is the screw in there according to my standards, like according to my requirements, that this is safety and I don't have to do any liability or get any liability issues if I actually have problems. So I'm actually already proceeding with my time, so I wanted to give you, give you a short look into this cockpit, what that looks like. And if you have seen or if you have ever been in a plant, you are probably very surprised by the fact how much software, okay, this is missing here.
You just need to stop the presentation.
Yeah. Or I'm just gonna do it like this. No.
Just wait a second, there.
There it is. Okay. So you're probably surprised by that all the software you can imagine, all the cool things you imagine are not necessarily in the factory. And if you look at these tightening systems, people run around on the shop floor, they look at each tightening system and say, okay, this was a good tightening, this was a good tightening, but you never had this overall view on how are my tightening systems doing. And that's what we developed the software for. It basically connects all the tightening systems in the assembly line across different halls and in different plants. On the left-hand side, you have a near real-time view on how are my tightening systems doing. Do I have a problem with some kind of car, or do I have to do anything? And on the right-hand side, you actually can have a look at the single tightening systems. So maybe just one more look here. I could look at the specific curve, and I can make analysis. Like if I own the plant or I lead the plant, I can look into the details and say, okay, I have a problem here. I need to send somebody here. And very interesting things they usually like too is that for everything they do, like all the tightening processes on a day, they can, for example, automatically derive report that I can just click on things, generate a PDF report, and just send it off. And the good part I have here, or the goal I have here, is actually to get to the point where nothing that has a problem or has a defect actually leaves my plant. And you probably all know the story of, I'm done. You probably know the story of what happens if something is wrong with your car and it gets up to the customer, and then you have to call it back because of problems. Thank you very much for your attention.
So actually, I would say, as this was a normal demo, let's ask, are there any questions about the product, not about the company?
So let's say there is a broken tip on one of the screws. How do you narrow down to one specific screw or one specific body in this software?
Right there. Because you know exactly which tightening system you are, you have your cycle time, and you know exactly at which point in time the specific tightening system was tightening a screw. So you know this exactly from the buildup of the hierarchy of the elements which are in this thing, and then of course you don't, or up to the present, you don't have identification for the specific screw, but because of the position you know where that is.
There's a person who is checking the quality of the screws.
That was before, yes, that people had to check this all the time afterwards, or just did random testing there. Now you would see if you had, for example, a problem with your screw, you would see this within the tightening process, because you have different parameters which you can check, and then you can tell.
Sweet. Another question? Yeah, one.
So you have thousands of sensors. So you have thousands of sensors that deliver to your analytics, and you have some sort of a big data that essentially captures and tabulates this information?
Yeah, in this sense, it's not like very basic sensor data. It's more that the tightening systems, they communicate JSON files with like the whole tightening curve and lots of different parameters. But yeah, that's other parts. You can integrate sensor data in that. Okay. But so far, we haven't done that.
You haven't done, okay.
One more break. One more we take.
Sorry, again?
Where else do you apply the same technology?
Where else do I apply do we apply the same technology? You mean except for plants, or? Yeah, well, I would say this one here is specific, as I said, for like process quality. So you can do this for all kind, not only tightening, but anything that has a process, you can monitor with that in there. You just have to, of course, adapt the business logic you need for that. Does that answer the question, or? Okay.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.